There we are. Yay, no more black screen. All right. Okay, cool. Welcome to Wednesday Night Live. And I am Shelly Marika, and I'm here to share with you tonight some really unique and different tips regarding putting your health first. And as we go into 2021, I personally feel that our health is something that we really want to address, because when we don't have our health, we don't have anything, right? I mean, if you're flat out not feeling good, not having the energy, not feeling vibrant, and just really being able to step into your greatness, then to me, it's like, what's going on? I can't live my life. I can't live it fully and enjoy. So we're going to talk about health. And typically, when it comes to our health, we often think of diet and exercise first, right? Let me ask you, when it comes to your health and you think about perhaps making some new intentions or setting goals or New Year's resolutions, what do you come up with when it comes to your health? Type in the comments below, like what's important to you? What would be on your New Year's resolution? But typically what we find is that it's, oh, I want to exercise, I want to work out more, or I want to start, or I want to eat healthier, I want to lose weight. These are all typical things that are absolutely really crucial parts of our health. And although exercise and diet are really important, stress is now the new factor. It's the new factor that's causing our overall health to fail and to decline, and for us to feel miserable. And the thing about stress is that it's not only an emotional effect, it's a mental effect, and it's a physical effect. You've probably heard the expression stress kills, right? And so in fact, it does. If stress goes unchecked for a period of time, it will eventually kill us, because what happens is there's a domino effect from stress, and it starts with our mental decline, then begins to attack our body, and then our body begins to shut down. And so stress is something we really want to address and find a way to eliminate the stressors in our life and control the ones that we can. And the stressors that we cannot control, I'm going to give you some tips tonight. And we're actually going to talk about 6 different ways that are unique and different for you to address chronic stressors and build your health. And so if you don't have your pen and paper ready yet, grab your journal, grab a pen, say hello, drop in the comments below where you're tuning in from. And again, this is Shelly Marenka from Inspired Living, and I am going live on YouTube and in my Facebook group, Women Wanting More, and also on my personal Facebook group. So if you are new to listening for the first time, let me know where you're tuning in from and that you're listening in for the first time. So chronic stress, as I said, has become a major issue in our society. And did you know that more than 80% of doctors' visits, and this is pre-COVID, were stress related, and they were due to stress. And now, since COVID, it's really been crazy. And most of our health issues and mental issues are due to a breakdown because of stress. So being chronically stressed out makes it really difficult to experience pleasure and joy in the day-to-day moments, right? Can you guys relate? Give me a thumbs up if you can relate. Let me know, on a scale of 1 to 10, would you put in the comments here, 1 being really low stressor and 10 being really high for your stressors? Drop in the comments below, 1 to 10. So the number 1 culprit to poor health is stress. And so, you've probably heard of ways that you can cope with stress, right? If you have been a proactive individual in your life and you're just like, I'm so stressed out and I want to figure out how I can, eliminate or reduce or control stress, maybe you've tried some of these typical things like breath work, breathing exercises, box breathing, right? Probably heard about meditation to help reduce stress. Probably heard about the benefits of nature. Like, I'm a nature fanatic, nature girl, and I'm always going out in nature and shooting some of my videos in nature because I find peace and serenity. So nature is one way to help cope with stress. And, going for a walk and exercising a healthy diet. But what if you added passion into your de-stress mode, into your ways that you can reduce stress, like doing the things you love. And that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. And I'm so excited about it because I believe in living a passionate life. I believe in having passion in your life to drive you to live fully alive. And so many of us are so stressed out, living day to day with the common routines and no time, that we don't even know what it's like to take some time and set it aside for ourselves. But what if you added passion as part of your stress control, right? And pulled out some new habits, some new hobbies, and began to implement them and make time and find time for them. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about tonight. These new ideas I'm going to share with you really are truly different. And maybe you're already doing some of them. And if so, great. And if you want to, I would love for you to type in the comments below what you do to cope with stress. Maybe you do one of those common things that I mentioned above. But let's talk about what you can do. And I've got 6 key factors for you tonight. 6 key factors that can truly be a game changer for your overall health, and share how you can integrate them into your life to feel better, to thrive, and to transform your life. So who's ready? Who's ready out there? All right, let me know. So the ingredients for good health, as I said earlier, are typically known as implementing exercise and eating a healthy diet, eating the right foods, and all that sort of thing. But I'm going to give you an acronym and for health. And so here we go. H is for happiness. It's for meaning and purpose. Okay. When we have happiness in our life, then we feel good. Not only feel good about ourselves, but we are a pleasant person to be around. And instead of chasing happiness and saying, I'm going to be happy when I get this or accomplish that or reach this goal, happiness is a state of being. And so happiness really comes about when we have meaning and purpose in our life. So that is what we have for H. E is about engagement. So it's about your relationships. What are your relationships like with your significant other, your family, your friends? Are there areas where you can improve in that? Because our relationships are really important to our health. If you ever read the book, The Blue Zones, he talks about the 7 factors that are common in people who live over 100, and relationships are one of those. It's really critical to our happiness. So ask yourself, what do your relationships look like? And then relationships and engagement with a mentor or a coach. Do you have someone that can inspire you into your greatness, walk with you, provide guidance along the way? We all need coaches to get better and be better and feel better in our lives. So A is attitude. Your attitude determines your altitude. And, maybe some of you are familiar with vibration and energy levels. But when our attitudes are low and they're depressing and we're sad, we're bitter, we're negative, that doesn't take us anywhere. But take on the flip side, and how does this feel? If your attitude is, I can do all things, right? I am a powerful person. I'm attracting, great energy and money and abundance and health into my life. These are all things that really help you get a better attitude, because what we think about, we bring about. So we are in control of our attitude. That is totally effective for your health. When you have a poor attitude, that really affects the body and your emotional state and your physical state. Continuing on the acronym with health, L is for learning. If we're not learning, we're not growing. And if we're not growing, we're not changing. And if we're not changing, we're staying the same. And that means we could be stagnant and living in mediocrity and doing the same thing day in and day out. And if you want your life to be different, you've got to change some things. So the definition of insanity is like continuing to do the same thing. Example, your daily routines, your habits, the same stuff at work, talking to the same people, and expecting a different outcome. Hey, baby, that's not going to happen for you. It's not going to happen because you're doing the same thing. So learning is so critical. I mean, it's just so great to be hungry, to read books, to constantly be learning, because then you're going to be growing and then you'll be able to change. And when you can master your mindset, by having self-awareness and mastering your mindset, working on that, learning how to do that, setting intentions for your life, and then on a daily basis, having reflections about your life, your productivity, your performance for the day, what worked, what didn't, what you could do better. That makes a huge difference on moving the needle forward, right, in our lives. And T is for time. And I have so many people that tell me, I want more time. I need more time. Time is what's holding me back from, becoming better. And so what I say to you is, everyone has the same 24 hours. Even, I don't even want to mention them, the President of the United States, CEOs, CFOs, all these people who are incredibly busy, a mom raising a family, we all have the same amount of time. But what makes the difference for those who are successful is they have really mastered time management. And so when it comes to our health, we don't need more time. What we do need is to set aside time, more quality time for us. Because when we don't have quality time for joy and pleasure and creativity, it really drops our attitude, our energy. It sucks us, right? And when we're giving and giving, whether it's in the office, at home, in our relationships, all these areas in our life that are demanding on us, if we don't fill up our cup and we don't have some time to go within and go without on the outside, tap into our inner guidance, have some peace and solitude, be able to have time to set aside for self-care. And self-care can look really different too. Let me grab this for you. I'm going to show this to you. I wrote the ultimate self-care guide for the busy woman. It can also be for the busy man, actually. And this is so important. And what happens is women say, I don't have any time, so I don't have any time for self-care. And self-care goes above and beyond lavender baths with candles and your favorite beverage, or having a pedicure, getting your hair done. It goes beyond and it goes deep. And if you want to get some tips for the ultimate self-care guide, for some tips that you probably have never done before, I'll drop a link below and you can tap into this and you can get this for yourself. It's a great gift to give yourself in the new year. But back to time, we need to be able to set aside time for ourselves, for our health, because that will also help us cope with our stressors that are taking away our energy. We need to be able to fill our tank, and that's really important. And the last one for the acronym of health is hope. Okay, hope divine is a feeling of expectation and a desire for something good to happen, right? And when we talk about our passion and our purpose, and our future, so many people are experiencing a lack of hope and a lack of faith. And without hope, there is no future. Without a vision, there is no future. And so when we have hope, when we have something to look forward to, and we're setting goals and we're establishing our intentions and something to look forward to, that helps us get out of bed in the morning, right? So it's really important to have hope in order to build your health, to live a life of vitality and to feel good and to be able to feel like you're on purpose. So those are a few things that I wanted to talk to you about, but hang on, because I've got some really good things coming up. And so you're going to continue on your notes, because I have another acronym with a great framework that we're going to talk about for a minute here. How are you guys doing out there? Is this helpful? That's great. Okay, great. So say hello in the comments below. Say hello in the comments below, you guys. Okay, so what I want to say to you is, if you leave your life to randomness, that's exactly what you get. And so wouldn't it be a better idea to design a life you love. Instead of living by default and randomness, design a life you love. So that framework of that acronym for health can give you a great start. You can make some notes and take some action on some of those things. And I've got a new framework here as well. So I'm going to share with you new possibilities to help you counteract the effects of stress, which is really keeping a lot of people down. It's causing depression. It's people aren't getting out of bed. They don't feel like they have a purpose. And that's the other thing that women come to me all the time in my Facebook group called Women Wanting More. One of their greatest setbacks, they say, is that they don't know what their passion and their purpose is, and they want to find it. And one of the best ways to be able to find your passion and your purpose is to find your pleasure, what brings you joy. So this framework I'm going to give you is can be much more effective to find your meaning in life and your purpose in life. So who's ready? Say aye. Drop a comment in the below. Drop a comment in the comment section below. Okay. The acronym is LIVE. So to live fully, right? So we're going to take the word live, and L stands for love. So love what you do, right? Love what you do and do what you love. When we love something in our lives, besides our significant other, that can bring us a lot of joy. So regularly doing the things that you love can elevate your vibration, elevate your energy, and elevate your happiness quotient, which will build your health, boost your immune system. I mean, they've done studies that happiness, the feeling and the hormones that drive us when we feel happy, improve our immune system. Exercise improves your immune system with the endorphins. All of these good things that you can do in life help boost your immune system, and that's really important to reduce the effects of stress. And then I is for intention. Do you set out every day with intention? Do you have intention for your life? It's really important because, again, if we leave our life and keep it to randomness and act from randomness or live by default, then nothing new is going to happen. And we're not going to feel excited about our lives. And then those bootstraps is V for vision. And intention and vision go along. Without vision, there is no life. Without vision, there is death, right? We have to have vision and hope, like I talked about earlier, for what's next. And if we want to stop living in the past and have those thoughts stop ruminating about what could have been and should have been, then what we want to do is live in the present and have a vision for our future. Our vision will pull us in. We don't want to push forward into our future. We want our intentions to pull us in towards our vision so that we can rise into what we want to create and live the life that we love, right? And then E is for engagement. So solitude and setting aside time for us is really, really important, but engagement in relationships, communicating with others. And in COVID, I know this is a difficult time, but get out when you can because it's really important. Engagement is critical, and that's also part of the reason why people live happy lives over 100 years old that the author talked about in the book, the blue zones, what makes people live and thrive over 100. So the thing is that sometimes we can't change our stressors, but what we can change is how we react or how we respond to the stressors that come into our life on a daily basis. There's no way that we're going to get rid of them. We all have them. But it's our attitude that determines our altitude and how we respond. We don't want to react, right? Because that doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good for us. It shoots stress hormones and cortisol through our body. And the person on the receiving end, it doesn't feel very good. So let's do something that makes us feel different, to feel the joy of creativity and passion and pleasure, even for 5 minutes. So again, this isn't going to take a lot of time, you guys. If you feel time crunched, I know that you can carve out 5 minutes to do something that'll make a difference for your life. And one of the things that I do is in the morning. I have my miracle inspired morning routine. And if you want to get a copy of it, drop it in the comments below that you want my morning routine. I can send you a link. It's on my blog on smarenka.com. I have a beautiful morning routine, and you can just tackle one step at a time. But a morning routine is a game changer. I started my morning routine probably about 5 years ago, and it's amazing for habits. And I'm going to talk to you about the 3 M's in a minute for a magical morning routine that will set the tone for your day instead of, checking into the news, grabbing your phone, being programmed by other people's lives. This way you can set the tone for your day in positivity. So even for 5 minutes, this is the way you can find more meaning and purpose. So the solution is to enjoy a daily dose of pleasure, right? Ask yourself what brings you pleasure and enjoy a daily dose of it, even if it's for 5 minutes. What are you passionate about? What do you love? What are the things that you love? What are the things that you did that brought you joy when you were younger, or maybe when you had more free time? Like one of my clients was talking about trains, and I love trains. And it's like, oh, I don't have any time anymore. And he's got kids. And it's like, get the trains out. Enjoy your old hobbies and bring it into life with your children and get some joy back, right? So can you give pleasure and joy the same priority as you do your work, your loved ones, the eating clean and making sure that you have vegetables on your plate? Time is all about priority, right? And we do the things that are the most important to us, but we often sacrifice our own needs and our desires. And I'm going to invite you to challenge yourself to give your 5 minutes tomorrow. Carve out 5 minutes, and no matter what you do, whether you spend 5 minutes at the gym, you listen to a positive podcast, go to my podcast, Inspired Living with Shelly Marenka, pull some positivity out of there, right? Go to YouTube, Inspired Living with Shelly Marenka. Listen to something positive. Watch funny cat videos or your favorite comedian just for 5 minutes. Okay, cat videos are limited, all right? Yeah, YouTube and social media, I'm not saying to go there for an extended period of time, but I am inviting you to find some humor and laughter and get that back in your life. I had a woman that commented this morning on one of my posts, and my question was, what habits do you want to change or add in the new year? And she said, I am having a difficult time getting out and walking. I want to go and walk every day. So I commented on that post and I said, I challenge you right now to go out for that walk. Take 5 minutes and just do it now. What better time than now? And I said, if you don't have 5 minutes in the present moment, then when you do today, go out and walk. Half hour later, she posted, I did it. I went out and walked. So ask yourself, is it truly impossible for you to find 5 minutes in your day for happiness and pleasure? And then you can build on that, It's so important. And it really is typically very easy to find 5 minutes if you carve out. So, I had a student that I was working with in my 90-day program, Women on the Rise, and she was a very busy professional. And she ended up working a lot of hours, and she didn't have any joy in her life. And I asked her, what are the old hobbies that you had, or what are the things that brought you joy before? And she said, well, I love making soaps, I love making candles, and I just don't have time for it anymore. I come home and I'm exhausted and I'm doing other things on the weekend. And I challenged her to pick that hobby back up, because she had this dream that maybe she could do a side gig, in a business of making these things. And lo and behold, look what I have to share with you. Look at this beautiful candle that she sent me. A month ago, she sent me about 10 different candles, some soaps, lipsticks that she's making. It's like, oh my God. And she was so joyful that she got to get creative again. She gave herself time to do what she loves. And then that makes us feel good, and it helps fill our cup. Isn't this beautiful? If you want some of these, just let me know, and I'm going to really encourage Lucy to put these online. And then look at all these lip conditioners. These are all natural lip conditioners that she makes with natural products like beeswax and, all of these things. It's like Your life can change in a minute when you tap into your genius, when you tap into your intuition and ask yourself, what brings me joy? What am I passionate about? What do I love? And you start implementing that into your life on a daily basis, a little bit at a time. Like, look at what she's creating, all these amazing things. And it's like, oh my God, you can have a business. This is how millionaires start businesses, right? It's with a dream that they take action on. They fill a void of what's in their life and then they share it with others. And so, anyway, my point is everybody can find 5 minutes. And when I talk to you about the morning routine, the thing is that in the morning, the three things that you want to really focus on to master your mindset is number one, mindset, movement, and mindfulness. And when you think about those three things and you work on each one of those to elevate and activate and start your day that way, you are going to run out of those gates with inspiration, with excitement, with enthusiasm, and intention for your day. So how does that sound? Who's going to start a miracle morning? Okay, so and the other fascinating thing that I learned today, I was listening to Mark Hyman's podcast, and he was interviewing this doctor about stress, etc. And this was really interesting. There was recent research, and it was shocking information from JAMA, which is the Journal of American Medicine. And people who lack meaning and purpose in their lives have a higher risk of death and disease. And it's like, that's crazy. I mean, we all know that stress kills and cigarette smoking and obesity and, lack of activity and all of that, contribute to disease and death. But this lack of purpose and meaning. So if you are feeling that and you don't know what your purpose is and you don't feel like you have meaning in life, contact me, hop on a call with me. We can get on a personal growth call. It's free. I'll put the link in, this video below. Let's get on a call. Tap into your genius, tap into your passions, tap into things that you love. But my goodness, we have to have passion and purpose in this life to thrive, and especially in these times like COVID. So the fact that research has now found out that those two factors are really critical to our health and happiness, I want to encourage you to really take a deep dive and take a look. Consider getting a mentor, consider getting a coach, have an interview with me or find someone else, but it's really, really important. And we need to be able to bring the process together, and the stressors is key. We need to be able to identify them and modify them. We know what we can't change, okay? And we know what we can't control. But here's the thing. Most humans stress out about things that are not in our control. So that's one of the first things you want to eliminate. Stop trying to control the things that you can't, and accept the things that, that you can't change, but take action around those things that you can. And we've all done this before. We've ruminated about the stressors that haven't even happened. I mean, that's what fear is all about, right? It's like false evidence appearing real. We have fear about things that, never even happened in our life. And so, it's like an example being in traffic. Many of you are still commuting to work. I know that. And when we take off and we start the day without intentions, like I talked about earlier in the podcast, and we're all amped up and we've got caffeine and we're late because we ran out of time, and then we're on our horns because traffic isn't moving. It's like, take a breath. Take that moment and that stressor and don't let it take your power, but instead do one of the miracle morning things and just activate some breath work and some breathing exercise during that period of time. So we do have control, right? We make choices all the time. We have 60 to 80,000 thoughts going through our heads every day. We want to change those negative ones and replace them with positive ones, okay? We want to have self-awareness about that and mindfulness around that. And then we want to be able to control the stressors that we can do something about. And so we all do struggle with time because there's not enough, it seems like. And we're living in a society where they really have, at this point, stolen our time. We're living in a society that wants us to soak up every minute was something to do, something to buy, somewhere to go. And our society does not support rest and relaxation, downtime. You look at other countries and they have um, rituals, they have ceremonial things. We live in a society that has stolen our downtime, and we have lack of structure for prioritizing what's really important in our lives. Because if we don't take time for us and the important things, we are going to get sick. Prevention is worth 1,000 pounds of cure, right? And when we're in that bed and in the hospital and sick, we really begin to think about, oh, what are some things that we could have changed in our life? So other cultures have it, and we can learn from them. And, they have practice every day. Like when I was in Italy, they shut their shops down from 2 to 5 in the afternoon so they can go home, they can be with their families, they can experience some joy, some relaxation, read a book, cook a good meal, have some laughter, and have downtime. Then they go back to their shops from 5 to 7. I mean, they really know how to live. They really know how to live. And our culture is stealing us from that. But I want to tell you, you are in control and you are in choice, right? You can choose and you can change these things in your life with a little bit of guidance, a little bit of hope, and tapping into your genius. And back to hope, it's a feeling of expectation, and it's a feeling, and you deserve for good things to happen in your life. So I want to encourage you to have hope and to take some time and sit down and figure out what's most important to you. And we can do that when we have awareness and when we're in tune with our intuition. And so that's what I have for you tonight. And I hope that this was really helpful. I hope that you've taken some notes so that you're not just spending more time listening to this, but you are actually actively going to take some action. And again, I'm going to schedule a link if you want a personal growth call with me. It's free. And you can also tune into my podcast and my YouTube channels at Inspired Living with Shelley Marenka. And I want to invite you, like if you like this and this inspired you, to get more inspiration to transform your life and achieve your dreams. And so I can help you do that. And when you put these things into action, it will really change your life, and you will experience a difference in the way that you think and in the way that you feel and your behaviors and habits. Yeah. So there are more videos in this line. I want you to stay tuned and come back again. And don't forget to subscribe and share, because if you resonate with this teaching about changing your life with the healthy habits and doing something different to elevate and escalate your vitality, I want to invite you to power up your potential, radically shift your health, and love yourself more. Share this with your friends because they need it too. This is Shelley Marenka, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao for now.